In the aftermath of the Horus heresy, the Ultramarines Primarch Roboute Guilliman was mortally wounded by his traitor brother Fulgrim, ascended to Daemon. In order to save him, he was put in a stasis field. Until 10,000 years later, he was finally awakened from his sleep. He did not lose time, immediately assessing the situation and planning and executing a grand strategy to save the Imperium. With the threat of the Great Rift, which has split the mankind's domain in half, he is now leading the largest armada from the Great Crusade to reclaim the lost worlds and defeat the warp corruption. Well, this is at least what is happening in the books, so won't it be amazing to have the Primarch from JOYTOY too? The answer is a resounding yes, and here he is, in all its ultramarine splendor. The box is quite different from the usual JOYTOY box. It is more premium, more robust, and usual plastic cover, so let's see what is inside. And after removing the plastic film, we have to remove these two plastic seals, and we use our powerful tools in order to do that. And almost there and here. Now we can try to open it and see what is inside. And some effort required, but in the end, yeah, we did it. And there is additional cover, and there is the Primarch, sword, hands, and the unhelmeted head. So let's remove all of this plastic stuff. A lot of protection for the Primarch, which is good. Go away with the plastic film, and then here is our Primarch that is finally coming out from its coffin. So big, so unusually big if you're used to JOYTOY figures. You have this nice sword with a lot of shading. Oh, so nice. But the flames are part of the sculpt, but the final result is great even if you cannot remove them. And then we have additional hands, one for the power fist, nothing different, but you know, different sides from normal. This closed fist is quite impressive, quite large, yeah, for the enemies of the Imperium. And then you have this unhelmeted head, and this is everything that you have got from the Primarch side. Okay, let's take a look at the articulations, so back and forth. Let's see on the side, limited by the armor on the left and the right, but still great appearance. Soft plastic for this cord, and plastic there. Okay, let's take a look at the head. These are made of soft plastic, so watch out for that. Yeah, I like to touch them because they are so soft. But of course I don't want the helmeted head for my Primarch. This is my personal taste. Let's see how the unhelmeted head is. And let's focus here. I like this unhelmeted head. Just like the books, you know. So you can now plug him, and here he is, my Primarch Guilliman. Gold and blue and leaves, and this very hard looking, very superior, you know. Okay, now let's try to arm him with this beautiful sword that I can't stop looking at. Very nice. So let's try to plug the sword in his hand. It is a bit stiff, but it's very easy, much easier than usual JOYTOY figures. And let's try to see how we can pose him. Let's adjust the sword. We want the flames to go in the opposite direction where the Primarch is striking. And let's move this power fist with this gun in the direction of the enemy, and you want your Primarch to look at the enemy in the face. And of course also to have some kind of a more dynamic pose, so that it is very nice. And I must say that because of the proportions it's very easy to pose, and the articulation is just good. Yes. And now from the bottom to the top in all of his magnificence, here our Lord Guilliman. And you can see how beautiful this figure is. Golden blue, and that severe look and the dynamic pose. And you can see that it's very nicely done, a lot of details. That gold is really shining, even it could be benefiting from some kind of shadowing. And now from behind you can see the details on the backpack and all the magnificence of this figure, which really looks like a Primarch. It is like the books, because it is a direct port from the books, and it is very nicely done, perfect proportions. Even if you look from the other side, the one with the sword, you can see the golden pauldron really shining out, and the sword and the seals of purity, and all the details that you have here. This is how you want a Primarch level figure to just be. Will be a great position in my stand. The articulations for legs and arms are pretty good, and as you can see, the pauldrons have these new joints from JOYTOY. These are a novelty for this figure, and probably they will be also applied in future figures, and allows for a great deal of articulations from the arms, even in the case of these huge pauldrons. And here you can see some more details about the articulation. It's all perfect. Now you can see the crunched iron halo on top, and this is something that you can fix with an air dryer or hot water, and also some kind of defects in the painting where you can see the underlying blue. And here he is again in the dynamic pose, ready to strike with the sword and his power fist and his heavy bolter included in the package. So you can see that the figure is very nicely done. Lot of details, lot of possibility. The weapons are just there, so if you are a fan of the books, you will find everything that you want here. And let's have some comparison with other figures, and let's start with the Ultramarine Terminator Captain and the Primaris Captain, and you see how they are dwarfed. And now let's also include the Great Voldus, one of the best figures, and he also very small. And now let's add the Chaos Terminator, because we want evil guys to be killed by these figures. So. And let's include, for the sake of comparison, also the Ratnik, which is not a small figure, and the Eliminator from the Sorrow Expeditionary Forces from JOYTOY, and just a puny human from the Infinity War. And you see, the Primarch is just great. You have that magnificence, this is the right word to use for this figure, that is shining from every position. You see, there is a great sculpt, the great details, the usage of gold and ultramarine color, and the details that you see, and the ability to pose this figure in different ways, just like in the books. I'm waiting for new Primarchs to be out in order to, create some kind of new diorama for this figure. For now, he will just stay in the stand, alone. You see? It is just screaming for Mortarion. Where are you? Come here, Mortarion. I'm ready for you. So, wrapping everything up. It is the first Primarch. is Roboute Guilliman. You can't miss him. You must have him. There is great armor decorations, there are highlighting, this is one of the best paint jobs from JOYTOY. There is great articulation, especially for the shoulders, ratchet joints for the leg. Maybe the gold could have benefited from having some kind of inking, shadowing, but that is very minor. And then of course we have those minor quality assurance defects like the crooked iron halo and the paint defects near the collar, but beside that, this is the best figure from JOYTOY, hands down. So whatever, if you like space Ultramarines, if you hate them, anyway, you must get this Primarch figure. It must belong to you. And now we are finally at the end, so I thank you for watching this video, and I hope that you will put a like and maybe even subscribe to the channel. It helps a great deal. Thank you.